So hello guys. Before we start, let's cover what we have. So let's start with what we have covered till now in module 1 and 2. So in module 1, we learned about what is cybersecurity. Basically, it's a practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. And why does it matter? It matters because of data protection. Because if we protect our data, we can prevent scams and frauds and identity thefts. Then we get to know about CIA triad. Can anyone tell me what is the full form of CIA in CIA triad? Yes, Gauri.
Confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility.
Uh, yes. It's not accessibility, it's availability. But yeah, that's correct. And then we get to know about malwares. So what are malwares? Yes, Priyank.
Malwares are the softwares which are installed into a PC so that the hackers can get access to the PC and can retrieve whatever data or information they want to retrieve from the PC.
Yes, basically those are the programs that are written with the malicious intent to extract data from a device. And how many types of malwares are there? We have covered that also. So we have adware. Yes, Gauri. Yes.
6 types of malwares: virus, worms, Trojan horse, spyware, ransomware, and adware.
Yes, Gauri. These are the malwares that we read about in our previous modules. After that, we also get to know where to report it and how to report it. Can anyone tell me how to report it and where to report it? Yes, Gauri.
We can report cyber attacks on National Cyber Reporting Portal and 1930.
Yes. After that, in module 2, we learn about social networking. So social networking is basically the use of internet-based platforms to stay connected with friends, family, and colleagues. And then we learned about what are the social media risks. Can anyone tell me what are the social media risks? Okay, so basically, social media risks are privacy invasion, cyberbullying, phishing and scams, addiction, and mental health. And after that, we learned about how to be safe from them. We can be safe from them by avoiding posting personal information online and then changing our privacy settings and monitoring it so that our confidential data like our addresses and some valuable information should not be available to others also. And we also get to know about the trust rule. Can anyone tell me the full form of trust? Yes, Gauri.
Think before opening, respect others online, use strong passwords, secure your devices, and talk to adults if unsecure. Yeah,
Yes,
unsure.
yes, exactly. That is the full form of trust. And these are the main principles how we can be safe on online. So what is digital footprint? We also get to know about that. Can anyone tell me what is a digital footprint? Yes, Priyank.
A digital footprint is how you build your identity on the social media, and it is basically what you portray yourself as on the media, and it can really influence how you are treated on the media.
Yes, that's correct. So digital footprint is our online presence or our online identity which can be accessed by others. So how we should be aware about it is what we post online. We must be aware about what we are posting online because we might not know future colleges or offices might check our online presence. Can anyone tell me how can we improve or make a positive digital footprint? Yes, Priyank.
Posting about donation drives and uh, enrolling in some
Our
NGOs
projects.
and posting positive stuff, posting about your achievements, and not posting something which can be controversial or can harm other sentiments.
Yes, it must not be affecting to somebody. Like people post certain controversial images or posts on their social media, which might contribute to a negative digital footprint. After that, we also heard about what are the dangers of instant messaging applications, such as there may be fake profiles that are only made for a malicious intent of uh, capturing victors or trapping victims so that for their own monetary benefits. We also get to know about how screenshots can be misused, and we also know about the forwarded rumors that are spread over the internet. We must not forward any kind of rumors before fact checking it. Now there are cyber etiquettes we also get to learn about. Those were verify facts before sending, be polite and respectful online, don't don't create or join any offensive or inappropriate online groups. So that was about our previous two modules. So today we will be learning about safe browsing. Can anyone tell me what is safe browsing? Yes, Gauri.
Safe browsing means the browsing which is not susceptible to attacks from our side, the precautions which we take on our part to make sure that we are not cyber attacked.
Yes, that is correct. So it is browsing the internet or local network without a deep destination in mind. That is browsing. Now, what is safe browsing? Safe browsing is the internet is full of valuable information, but not all websites are safe. Unsafe browsing can lead to theft, scams, or device infections. Safe browsing is equals to smart browsing. So, there are many kinds of browsing. The common browsing is web browsing. It is the most common form of browsing. It involves using a software called web browser to view websites. Can anyone tell me what are the examples of web browsers? Yes, Priyank.
Chrome, Brave browser, Opera browsers, Microsoft Edge are some examples of web browsers which are commonly used nowadays. Older browsers were Mozilla Firefox and Internet.
Yes, Internet Explorer. Firefox is not uh, the older version, but Firefox is the browser which can be used today also, and it they are updating its or patching its vulnerabilities. So Firefox is not an older browser. So how it works when we browse the internet? First of all, what we do is we search for a term or enter a URL. Can anyone tell me what is the full form of URL? Yes, Gauri.
Uniform resource locator.
Yes. So we use or we type the URL in the search bar of the browser. It fetches the data from the server and translates it into text, images, or videos on the screen. So that is basically the main function of a web browser. Now, there are also hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are the main part which connects from one page to another, which can redirect you from one page to another, which allows you to surf through one topic to another topic. Now, what is the difference between searching and browsing? Do you know what is the difference between searching and browsing? Okay. So when we have an intended goal, what we are looking for, that is called searching. And if we don't have an exact goal and we are just exploring, that is known as browsing. That is the main difference between searching and browsing. Now, safe browsing are the habits and technologies that protect you from identity theft, malwares, and scams online. You can also call it defensive driving for the internet. Now, what technology is used by modern browsers to protect you from dangerous browsing, or you can say harmful websites? Now, in today's world, there are a lot of insecure websites that are present online to trap you into scams and extract money from you. So, for that, browsers also implement some kind of security from their end. Modern browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari have built-in safe browsing list. Like, you might have clicked onto some link and it shows you an option on the screen that it is not safe and it is a harmful website. So it also identifies the spoofed website. Do you know the meaning of spoof? Okay, so spoofed websites, yes, fake. That's exactly the term that is used instead of fake. S- Spoofed websites are designed to look like the original or legitimate website, but it is not the legitimate website. But we also cannot trust technology for handling the safe browsing by itself. We also should be aware about what we can do from our side. For example, when we are clicking or entering a website, we must check for the HTTPS and the padlock symbol. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol and S stands for secure in HTTP. We can also check by the padlock icon. If the padlock icon is there, it means that the HTTPS protocol is implemented. We can also check for the domains. Like here, it says google.com, but it is not the legitimate one. Legitimate one is the is that one which has the correct spelling of the Google. So we can also also have an example here which shows that which this website https colon forward slash www.sasfoundation.in follows the protocol of https, but in freesschoollaptops.net does not follow or does not have s. So this is not a secure website. So we must be aware of which websites are secure and which are not secure. We So these are the warning signs that we can check for unsafe websites. A lot of pop-ups will be there, and you won't be able to click or open the intended part of the website. It will keep popping up several pop-ups on your screen, which might lead to misclicking or redirecting you to another website. Now, there are be for identifying unsafe websites, there will be too many ads or flashy buttons on the screen, and there will be no contact or about us page on the screen. If someone is, if let's say, for example, if I am running a business, I must be having a contact us, contact me, or an about us page because I want to connect with my customers and want to get the feedback. Or if I'm promoting another product or if I'm launching some new product, I must be pitching them to buy my product. So there must be a about us or contact us page over on the website for that product. So please be aware of these things, that there if there is no contact us or about us page for the website, it might be an unsafe website. Poor grammar, design errors, or low quality images can also be a sign of unsafe website. And if we want to check for any kind of website, we can go to the Google Safe browsing. The link is mentioned here. You can check on this website if the website is safe or not. Now, can anyone tell me what is cache, or we can call it cache? Yes, Gauri.
It is the brief storage system that stores whatever we browse through on a website or certain data only for a short period of time.
Yes. So every browser stores the file in the memory for faster accessing of websites. For example, you search for a website. It downloads the logo and images on the website to the memory and stores it there. So whenever you open the website after some time, it will load faster. So that is what is cache is present for. Now, why clear it? And why is it matter to clear the cache? What happens is cache, or you can say local storage, stores your information about what you have visited, or how, or you can say your identity or authentication tokens. So what are identity and authentication tokens? So whenever you log in to any kind of platform or any social media platform, what it does, it sends those information to the server, and the server sends back an authentication token, which is a sentence, or you can say a short word, which is stored to identify your computer or yourself, that you are the sole owner of the account and you are accessing it. So that is why cache is important and clearing it is more important. It might help you from getting your accounts hacked and privacy leaks. So so that your bank details or your account details might not leak or must not leak. Now, if a website updates its security settings or fix bug, the browser may load the older version. What happens is, if your browser is holding cache for a website which is now updated, or if the website owner has fixed some bugs on that website, and your browser is still holding that old cache, it will load the old one instead of the new one, which is patched for a vulnerability. Nowadays, website use session token, as I explained earlier, that nowadays website use session tokens or authentication tokens to identify yourself while you are surfing through the social media platforms or your banking sites. What it does, it identifies you before, or instead of asking you the password for every click or changing the site. So that's why it is important to clear the cache. Sometimes what happens is, you search for a product, and then after 2 to 3 days or a week, you go to another website, but you get to see the product that you searched 2 3 days ago or the last week. You might be able to see that product. How you can see that? That is because of zombie cookies or tracking. So you must clear the cache so that the companies, or you can say zombie cookies, cannot be resurrected and used to track you or used to extract your data. So we must clear it because it improves speed and fix loading errors, protect your data on shared devices. Now on Chrome, how can you clear it? Go open Chrome and click on the three dots that are present on the right side of the screen. Then go to the settings and search for privacy and security. When you get to see privacy and security, click on it and then click clear browsing data. It will show a pop-up. In that pop-up, select cached images and files. Choose a time range for how long do you want to delete your browsing data, and then hit clear data. Now your data is cleared, your cache is cleared. Do this weekly or monthly. It will help you save your data and improve the speed of your browser. You can also use incognito window for privacy. Private mode automatically deletes. Well, zombie cookies are those cookies which are present, or you can say which are linked to another cookies and which can be resurrected if you call the specific functions. So those are called zombie cookies. Now you can also use, as we were discussing, we can also use incognito window for privacy. What it does, Hold the session info until or unless that tab or the window is open. If you close it, it destroys all your data, even cookies that are present during the session. So we can use it for privacy reasons. We must also take care of logging out completely if we are using a shared device, because sensitive sites like banking might hold your data in the cookies, and clicking on logging out or click on log out will force or enforce the system to destroy those cookies or cache memory in the browser. Now, what are safe browsing practices? Use updated browsers. For Chrome, Firefox, Edge, or Safari, whatever browser you use updated browsers. Always log out from website after use. What happens is, what people do, they log into an account or log into a website, they perform their tasks or perform their actions, and then they close the tab or close the window. That is not logging out. You must log out by clicking the logout button on the website so that you ensure that all the session info or all the information that is stored in the cache is cleared or wiped out. Use of updated browsers can help you because there might be a vulnerability that is available or that is present in the past browsers or past version of the browsers or older version of the browsers that might be patched in updated versions. Also, do not save passwords on public or shared computers. Let's say you are trying to log in your account into a library computer to access your mail. You logged in. It shows a pop-up on the top right side of the screen asking you to save the password. What you did, you saved your password. Now, if someone else enters that same email account on that computer, what it will do, it will suggest them that the password is saved for that account. They can also access your account. So do not save your password on public or shared computers. Avoid suspicious free download. What it means is, you might be surfing through a website, you might click on download button and it says this file might be harmful. So avoid those kind of downloads or downloading from unofficial channels. Now, here's a pro tip that use browser extensions like HTTPS everywhere or ad blockers for enhanced safety. HTTPS everywhere is an extension or a browser extension which allows or which forces the websites to use HTTPS or stores or loads the website that follows HTTPS protocol. And ad blockers are also, you can say, a better layer for security, because sometimes malicious ads are popped up onto your screen and you might unknowingly click on them. So ad blockers help in preventing those misclicks. Now, here are some social media browsing tips. Use official apps or websites. Sometimes what happens is, just to track our statistics about our social media accounts, we download some different apps from App Store or Play Store that are available online. What happens is, we enter our details or account details, our username and password, which is now also available to the uh, other app platform that we have downloaded. So if their database got breached, our account will be susceptible to get hacked, or they might leak our passwords or username. So avoid using or avoid entering your details to any kind or unofficial websites or unofficial apps. It may cause breach in security. Be cautious while clicking the link in reel or bio or on stories. They might be harmful. They might get something downloaded to your device, or they might ask you to enter some information that is not going through proper channels. Don't click on "you won a prize" ads or surveys. These are not created for correct or right intent. These are all always created for malicious intent to extract some money or some kind of information from the user. Turn off autoplay videos to save data and avoid exposure to harmful content. Now, mobile browser safety. Prefer apps over browser. Prefer apps over browser for social media. Use incognito mode if browsing on a friend's phone or public Wi-Fi. Avoid entering passwords or personal details on mobile browser pop-ups. We use mobile phone apps rather than browsers. Apps provide speed and performance, provides offline access, alerts on time. So apps are preferred over browsers. Apps are hard coded to talk to certain official servers, but browsers, the traffic passes through multiple servers that might not be official servers. And apps also provide biometric security, such as banking applications will not authenticate until or unless you authenticate it via the PIN or a fingerprint if you have a phone that supports fingerprint or biometrics. Now, here's a trade-off which we can balance out where we have to use application and where we have to use browsers. For financing and banking apps, we must use their official applications. We must not log in through browsers. Reading news and random links. Random links are not preferable. We must not open random links. So for reading news, we can use browsers or their official applications that are present on Play Store or App Store. Shopping on news sites. Shopping on news sites, we can use browsers, but if we have applications for that, it will be better we install the application from proper channels and use them. Social media apps. We can use social media apps, but we have to use it with caution. Now, we move on to our cyber hygiene checklist. Use secure Wi-Fi. No public cafe networks without a VPN. Can anyone tell me what is a VPN? Yes, Gauri?
It's a virtual private network, and it is used to make sure that our location and our data is safe. It is sort of an encryption for internet.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. What happens is when we connect to a public cafe network, there are a lot of devices present on it, and we do not know if someone is present there with a malicious intent. They might be sniffing or they might be capturing our data packets that are sent through that internet network. So what happens is VPN encrypts our data packets before sending it over the network. So it is better or it is best to use VPN while connecting to the cafe networks or public networks. Don't enter any sensitive data on unknown sites. So what does this sensitive data mean? The sensitive data could be our address, our names, or our banking information such as credit or debit card information or our bank account details. So we must not enter any kind of sensitive data on unknown sites. Keep your browser extensions minimal. So there are a lot of browser extensions that are available online. We must not install them blindly. We must be mindful of what kind of browser extension we are installing on our system. Such as, for example, I told you about an HTTPS everywhere extension, which is useful, which protects you from harmful websites or tells you which websites are harmful. So keep a check on your browser extensions. Turn off pop-ups and redirections. This is the most important setting that you must turn on in your browsers because turning off pop-ups and redirections will help you a lot as it will prevent misclicks from you as the user and stop the redirecting to malicious websites and which may not harm your computer. Use antivirus and firewall protection. We must use antivirus and we must check our firewall protections. Antivirus helps us to protect us from malicious software and browsing through unsafe websites or unknown websites. Firewall protection prevents malicious downloads and the data that are sent through over the internet. Now, what are the key takeaways for today's session? Always check for HTTPS and padlock icon. Clear your cache regularly, especially on shared devices. Practice smart habits while using social media. Safe browsing is equals to safe digital identity. Before we move on to questions, this is today's assignment. So today's assignment is create a browser configuration guide that outlines how secure settings, block trackers, and clear cache effectively. So you have to create a browser configuration guide which outlines or which has all the necessary points that explains how to secure the settings, block trackers, and clear cache effectively. You can submit the assignment here on this Google form, or you can scan this QR code. You have to upload the today's assignment and then close the window, as it will automatically saves the file that you uploaded there. So do that and close the window. So now let's move on to our quiz. Today's quiz. So what does HTTPS? Are there plugins and add-ons also? So extensions are also known as plugins, or you can say add-ons. In Firefox, there are plugins, and in Chrome, called it as extensions. So yes, there are plugins, or if you can say extensions in web browser. Can anyone tell me what does HTTPS stands for? Yes, Gauri.
Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure.
Yes. How can we check if a website is secure or not? Yes, Priyank.
The website should start with the HTTPS, and we have to check for the padlock icon. If it is present, and we can check if the website is secure.
Yes. Name one reason or mention one reason to clear your browser cache. Yes, Munmun.
It helps the websites to load faster.
Yes. What is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? How does it different from a standard HTTP connection? Yes, Gauri.
An HTTP connection is not secure because it is not encrypted, but the HTTPS one is secure because it is encrypted, and it makes sure that the path between the user and the website on which we are is safe, and no third party can look into it.
Yes, exactly. That is the main difference between HTTP and HTTPS. What are the visual cues you should look for next to a website URL to verify it is secure? No one knows answer to this. What are the two visual cues you should look for next to a website's URL to verify that it is secure? Yes, Gauri.
HTTPS and padlock sign.
Yes, exactly. HTTPS and padlock sign, which ensures that the website is secure and that data that is sent over the internet is encrypted. Now, what is browser cache and how does it assist in our online experience? Yes, Priyank.
Browser cache saves images of the browser which we have gone on, and when the next time on the website we have gone, and when the next time we want to open that website just loads faster because the system has the basic image of what we have to open.
Yes, exactly. So browser cache stores the information in memory and access it from there instead of getting the data from the server. It enhances our online experience. So identify major warning signs that a website might be unsafe. Yes, Gauri.
There are pop-ups asking for personal information and no about us page. There are design errors and low
Grammatical
quality
errors.
low quality images, and also flashy buttons and too many ads.
Yes, exactly. These are the major warning signs that a website might be unsafe. Why is it particularly important to clear the browser cache when using a shared device? Why is it particularly important to clear the browser cache when using a shared device? Yes, Gauri.
To make sure that our information is safe and it does not mix with the other person's information.
Yes, you are correct. But clearing browser cache ensures that your data is removed from that device or your information is deleted from that device. That is why it is important to clear the browser cache. Now, what are the steps to clear your browsing cache when using a shared device? Yes, Priyank.
Go to settings, well, click on the three dot menu, go to the settings, click on privacy settings, click on clear browsing data, then clear cached images and files, and then select the timeline and then click on clear data.
Yes, exactly. Those are the exact steps that we need to follow to clear the browsing cache in a shared device. According to cyber hygiene checklist, what should we use if we are in, accessing internet via public cafe network or cafe Wi-Fi network? Yes, Priyank.
A VPN shall be used because it basically does not share your location on and exact IP address which you are using.
Yes, exactly. It prevents from sharing your IP address as it masks it with its own IP address, and it also encrypts the data before sending it to the server. Now, when browsing through your friend's mobile phone, which browser mode is recommended for safety? Yes, Gauri.
Incognito mode.
Yes, exactly. Incognito mode is recommended for security because it does not store your information permanently. It removes it when the browser is closed or the window is closed. Name two types of browser extensions that can be used to enhance online safety. Yes, Priyank.
HTTPS everywhere and ad blockers can be used to enhance the safety while surfing on the internet and browsing the internet.
Yes, exactly. HTTPS everywhere and ad blockers are two main extensions that can enhance our online safety. Now, there are some situation based questions that I'll be asking you. So, first one is you are trying to access a popular search engine, google.com, but you notice the URL shows a misspelled version. What is the risk of continuing and what you should check? Yes, Priyank.
The risk of continuing can be that it can be a malicious website which is a spoof, and it can be harmful, and uh, we can just report it and that's it.
Yes, we must check for its spelling, and we must check that it is HTTP or HTTPS. We can also must not continue because it might ask or it might get some data from our system. Now, next question. You just finished checking your mail on a library computer. According to safe browsing practices, what action you must take before leaving the station? Yes, Priyank?
Well, sir, to prevent your information being leaked, first we shall, while logging, we shall not save our passwords, and while uh, our work is finished, we shall log out from the particular website so that our information is not saved and the ID is not accessible anymore on the device.
Yes, exactly. First, we should not save our passwords on that system. Second, if available, we must use incognito mode on that system. Third, before leaving the station, log out and clear browser cache. So these are the main things or actions we must take before leaving the station. Now, while scrolling through social media, a flashy ad pops up claiming you won a prize and also ask you to click to a link to claim it. How you should respond? Yes, Gauri.
We should not click on it because it is a sign for an unsecure website.
Yes, we must not click it and we must keep scrolling or keep going forward. We must not uh, provide any kind of attention or perform any kind of action with that flashy ad. Now, your browser has become slow and some websites are showing loading errors. What specific maintenance step you can take in your browser settings to fix it? Yes, Priyank?
It can be that we have a lot of cached files and images, so we shall go to the settings and clear the cached file and check if we are running smooth. We can also conduct a speed test to check if the network's working fine or not.
Yes, exactly. We can check if our browser cache is full or if it is the reason that is slowing down the loading of websites. We can also check our internet connection. So these are the two things that we can do. Moving on to next question. You visited a website that starts with HTTP and does not have a padlock icon. What does this tells you about the connection between your device and the website? Yes, Gauri?
The connection is not encrypted and hence not safe.
Yes, exactly. The connection is not encrypted and it is unsafe to proceed further with that website. A friend shares a link with you in a social media bio or story that seems suspicious. According to the warning signs of the unsafe website, you should click it or should you click it? Let me, yes. Yes, Gauri?
If it seems suspicious, then we should not before checking if it is actually or not.
Yes, on we can check on this website that I have shown earlier that if it is safe or not, which the website link is transparencyreport.google.com/safe browsing/search. We can search on this website that the link that has shared with us by our friend is safe or not, and then we should proceed with it. If it is not safe, we must not open it and inform our friend also that it is not a safe website. Now, moving on to our next question. Let's say you need to look at something and you need to borrow your friend's device. To ensure your browsing history data aren't saved in his device, which browser mode you should use? Yes, Gauri?
Incognito mode.
Yes, we must use incognito mode so that to ensure that the data that we have entered is not stored or is not saved onto the device. You want to check your social media updates on your friend's phone. Is it safer to use mobile browser or official application? Yes, Gauri.
Official application.
Exactly. Official application will have certain security features that are implemented and will always contact the official servers for the information. Now, move on to our last question. You find a website that has great information, but notice many design errors, poor grammar, and no about us page. Should you trust this site with your personal information? Yes, Priyank.
If the website does not provide enough information about it and seems way too fleshy, it can be a sign of a malicious website, and I shall not proceed to uh, share any such personal information which can be harmful for me in the future or in the present itself.
Yes, exactly. We must not enter our personal information if the website seems suspicious and has a lot of errors, poor grammar, and no about us page. We must be mindful of the data that we are putting on the internet. So now, before we end the session, we will revise what are the key takeaways from our session. Key takeaways are: always check for HTTPS and the padlock icon before surfing through the website. Clear your cache regularly, especially on shared devices. Practice smart habits while using social media. Safe browsing is equal to safe digital identity. I would also like to add something here, as we all use mobile devices or smartphones more than we use laptops. So if you want to check the link that is shared with you, the, what is the link or what is the complete URL, you can just click and hold it to check and see what is the complete URL or the complete link. So thank you for joining today's session. We'll see you tomorrow. If you have any questions,